Alright, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. This week, we're going to be repairing a bunch of bikes we got sitting back there that just need to get fixed. But before you get started, if you are new to my channel, make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button for me. If you already are subscribed, make sure you hit that bell icon right next to that. That way you get notified every time I upload. That way you don't miss any of this awesome cycling content on this channel. So like I said, today we are fixing up a bunch of bikes we have. So we got... how many bikes do we have back there? Probably 6 bikes back there that are in various forms of disarray. A lot of flat tires. Some chains probably need to get worked out. Some lubricating cables probably needs to be done. Some are easy. Some are going to be more difficult. Pretty much I had someone give me a bunch of kids' bikes. I think there were 3 kids' bikes. Or 4? No, there are 3 kids' bikes. So yeah, someone gave me 3 kids' bikes that were all just, I mean, they've probably been sitting for a long time. So I have those 3 kids' bikes. I have my daughter's old pink bike that I took the bearings out of, so we have to do bearings on that one. We have, what else is back there? The purple bike, I think, she has another one of her other old bikes, just needs air in the tires, I believe, and that one's good to go. And then we have the old 90s mountain bike. There goes my 6. Then we have the old 90s mountain bike. That's the rim tape. The rim strip broke and popped the tire. So we gotta put a new tube in that one. So we got a few things to work on. Some are gonna be like super simple. Some are gonna be more complicated. So we got our air compressor out. We got some air. That way I'm not pumping up 12 different tires plus, you know, if they're flat or whatever. So we're gonna start with the easier ones, the ones that I think just need air in the tires potentially, and maybe a little lube on the chain. We're going to start with those, and then we'll kind of move to, you know, the bearings, bikes with brakes, stuff like that. It takes a little bit more to it. I decided to throw this all in one video. I don't feel like making multiple videos about this because some are easy, some are going to be a little more complicated, but I feel like it all fits in here just fixing broken bikes. So, let me go grab bike number 1. All right, bike number 1 is this little Schwinn Roadster here. Kind of cool little bike. Probably the coolest one I own, probably the coolest one I have back there. Again, I have no idea condition on these. That's training wheels. We are going to pop the training wheels off of this because it looks better without the training wheels. So we're going to take the training wheels off of here. Pretty easy. And then I think we need some air in the tires. Before we inflate them, I'm just going to check, make sure the rim strip is all in one piece on both tires. That way we don't pop a tire right off the bat. What size are these? These are 16s. Okay. Inflate to 35 PSI. Pretty simple. Let's pull these training wheels off. These are not training wheels that would have come on this bike originally. These are these are a pair you'd buy separate. That training wheel is totally loose too. So yeah, we're just gonna take these off. So let's pull that guy off. Training wheels should come all the way off. Again, there's nothing wrong with training wheels. I think bikes look way better without training wheels, and your kid's gonna learn better without training wheels. So, yeah. So that's why we're taking them off. Just me. I mean, if someone who wants this wants the training wheels, I will give them the training wheels. I don't really care. They can install them themselves because I'm not doing it. Okay, how's our fender look here? What's going on here? Let's see. Let's try to tweak this fender some. Oh, there we go. Okay. Fender looks good now. Hubs are good. Headset's good. Let's throw some lube on this dry chain. Alright, bike number 1 done. We got rid of any of the adhesive here. Made it look a lot better than it was. Just need to go get washed now. And this one's ready to go. Pedals nice and smooth. Just hits my rack. Brake works good. Handlebars straight. Move on to bike number 2. Let's go pick another one. Alright, bike number 2. Got this Quest Cobra here. So this thing, kind of same deal. We need to check our rim strips here. Fill up our tires. So those are good. It does need the headset adjusted. Got a little bit of a play in there. Lubricate the chain. And if all that turns out good, we'll see what we got for grips. See if we can maybe at least slide these back and throw a bar end on there. At the minimum, we'll see. Let's check our tires though first. Check our rim strips, make sure we're not just gonna blow the tire up in our face. The rear, we gotta fix that rim strip. Or at least take out the old rim strip, put in, I don't know, we'll figure something out. Let's see here. Because if we fill this up, it's gonna go kaboom right in my face. I don't want that to happen. So let's see how we can do this the simplest way without doing too much work. Because I don't want to do too much work. I just want to do this easy. All right. So if you ever need a rim tape in a rush, a little bit of duct tape, Gorilla tape, works pretty good. Gorilla tape also works pretty good for tubeless setups. If you didn't know that. So all I like to do is just go, I like to go twice around. Rim strip installed. Just gonna make sure it's pushed down on there. All right, and we'll throw our tire back on. I lied, we gotta poke a hole. Then we can put our tire back on. I know some of you are like, oh, it's such a hack. You could have just gone and, you know, bought a $1 rubber rim strip. I could have. I don't feel like doing that, but I could have. Why didn't I? Because duct tape works fine. That's why. All right, let's try to throw some air in this thing. Oh, it's flat. Man. All right, got the rear wheel fixed. Put a new tube in there. I should put a 20-inch tube in there. That's all I have. These are 18-inch wheels. Not a big deal. We just kind of fold it over itself a little bit. It should last a long time. They're actually a good 20-inch tube too, because these are the ones that were in my daughter's bike before we went to the Airlutions. So they have slime in them. Lucky kid. That's all I can say. So if you guys want to see what happened to this one, it's not very often that this happens to tubes. So this tube was one that was in the rear. And if you flip it to the inside of the tube, you can, where did it go? There it is. That happened. Where it got, that's where one of those spoke nipples got it right there. And then the tube is just the rubber sole that's just flaking away. So, yeah. So we're going to take the valve core out of this, save the valve core, but that's good. We have the headset. Is I think the last thing we're going to do on this. Yes, headset's the last thing. Let's get that adjusted here. All right, so headset. We're actually going to get lucky on this one because both the lock nut and the one underneath it are both loose. So we shouldn't have to do too much to get this thing tightened down. We are going to take off this broken reflector bracket. Might be all that saved this headset from just falling apart. But we're going to take off this broken reflector bracket that doesn't even have a reflector on it. Get rid of that guy. All right, now. Oh, see, it already feels better now that we twisted that up. All right, let's just get our big adjustable wrench. Gotta throw that on here. And we're just going to tighten this guy down. And hopefully that doesn't tighten it too much. I mean, yeah, it feels good. It spins free. Okay, I'm going to say we'll leave it like that. You got to play the game with these bikes, especially the kind of budget ones like this. And you got to know when it's good enough. Otherwise, you just spend way too much time messing with it and trying to figure it out, and then you end up crying to yourself to sleep at night, and you wake up and realize it didn't really matter. It's a piece of garbage anyways. I'm kidding, it's not a piece of garbage. Okay, move that. Okay, let's take a look at what we can do with these grips here. So I mean, they're not, the grips themselves are okay. I'm thinking let's just try and get the air under them. Hey, there we go. All right. So I went too far. Ow. There we go. Okay, there's one. Perfect. There we go. And we're just going to chop these guys off. I think it's good. I think we're good on this one. We'll finally move to the next one. Cut these guys off because they're just not going to attach to anything anymore. All right. There we go. Headset adjusted, tires still holding air, chain lubricated, grips fixed. All right, let's move on to bike number 3. Woo! All right, bike number 3. This is actually one of my daughter's old bikes here. With that being the case, I think it just needs air. Air, lubricate the chain. We gotta take the broken basket off. And this one's good to go. Now, like I said, training wheels stay on this one because these training wheels were supposed to be on this bike. Again, good. These actually have slime in them, just like the other ones I told you about. I really don't like chains. Tires are good. Headset's good. Bottom bracket's good. All right. Number 3 done. See, some are easy. Like this one. Pretty easy. So, get this one out of here. Let's grab the next one. This is when we start getting to some that are a little more complex. Kind of. We have to do bearings on the next one. Yeah, it's a long story. Look at the next one. I'll tell you more about it. We got to do bearings, and we got to do bike with brakes, and another bike with brakes. So, let's get this out of here. Grab bike number 4. All right, bike number 4. So, this is my daughter's first bike here. I have put off working on this bike for an entire year, and that's because I need bearings for the front. There are no bearings in this front wheel. Pretty much at the time, she had started racing BMX. If you don't know, my daughter races BMX, and she was riding her balance bike a whole bunch, and she was riding it hard. And what had happened was she was in like a race series where she raced Saturdays and Sundays. Saturdays, she blew up the whole front drive assembly. It was her axle assembly. The cups on there, the bearings, all gone on Saturdays. She had 2 races on Sundays. So I kind of went scavenging, and I found this bike had pretty similar bearings and axle. And yeah, now I pretty much stole those bearings and axles, put them on her balance bike, and this is what's left from her balance bike is here. I got bearings finally. After a year, I finally have bearings. So we got to do that. We got to lubricate our chain too. Again, because it's been sitting there for over a year. She hasn't ridden this thing in like a year and a half, maybe. It's been a long time. All right. So, yeah, there is nothing in here. This axle is completely solid. Tightened as tight as it can get. All right, pull that all apart. So, right in there is where the bearings are supposed to go. So we got to get some bearings. We got to throw some grease in here first. Then we'll throw some bearings on top. And then we'll kind of slam this side together. Do the same for this side. And hopefully this thing rolls afterwards. We got to figure out what size bearing this even was. I don't remember. I thought I had an old bearing. I think I chucked it though, because again, that was a year ago. So we'll figure that out. Okay, so I bought this whole kit here. Calhawk stainless steel chrome ball assemblies. I don't know. I bought this in attempts that something in here will fit and work okay, because I don't remember what the bearings are. Let's try that again now. All right, so we got these. These are 7/32. I read they're supposed to be metric. I don't know. You know, I'm kind of like, if I really cared, I'd care. Some of these probably, you know, equivalent to metric. That's what keeps me. That's what helps me sleep at night. One of these has to be equivalent to metric, you know. So, and they wouldn't perfectly fit inside if they weren't. Okay, throw this axle through. Ooh, yeah, that feels good. Okay, this bike is not going like super fast. It's a little kid's bike, 12-inch. These are even 12s. I think they were 10s if I remember right. They're tiny, so it's not going anywhere that fast. All right, let's close this up before I lose all my bearings. And then we're just going to go ahead and get our cone wrench, grab right here, grab a regular wrench, tighten that guy up, and we should be set to throw this wheel back on this bike. All right, there's number 1 of the complicated bikes. Guy rolls. Doesn't move. Heck yeah, chain lubed, tires don't need any air. Let's move on to the next one. This one starts to get a little more complicated. We're starting to get into gears and brakes. So let's go grab our next one. Let's get to work. All right, so some of you guys may remember this bike. This is bike number 5. This is that 90s mountain bike I got last year. Oh, jeez. Yeah, last year. We did a few videos on getting it all set. And then it sat. And sitting kills bikes, man. Jeez. So the rim strip on the front broke and popped that tube. So we gotta fix that. This rear one, I think, just needs air. So let's try throwing some air in here. 40 to 65. And we'll see how this goes. And then it needs a couple adjustments. The brakes now rub on the back for some reason. This spring doesn't quite look right. I don't know. Hey, it actually still has 5 pounds of air. Gotta true this front wheel a little bit. That has a big old hump in it. Where is that? The big hump. Right there. Big old freaking hump. Bonk. Bonk. Alright, so we got the front better. It's still got a big hump in it. I'm not sure what's going on, but it's got a big hump in it. Now the rear. Something's up with the spring. Got a thump in it. Alright. Tire's good. Axle's tight. Let's check our gears. And then I think if everything works, this is all friction shift too. So all of this should work. Ugh. Good enough. Okay, tire fixed. Brakes fixed. Wheels semi-true, about as true as a steel wheel is gonna get. Gears all work. Chain's lubricated. I think we're on to the last one. Woo, man! And the last one I think is gonna be the trickiest one. So let's go. So we'll grab number 6. Bring it in here. Some things are gonna be tricky. Some things are gonna be easy. We'll see. All right, so this is number 6 right here. And some of you might be looking at like, what do you mean it's a complicated one out of all of them? Well, so it's single speed. It's a BMX bike. It has a free wheel on the back. The complicated part is this part up here. So this has a gyro built in onto the front, so you can do bar spins and your cables don't get twisted and still allow you to use them. That's the complicated part. And the fact that these brakes do not move at all. That's the part where I'm like, ugh. If there's one that's not going to get done today, it's this one because of needing cables or parts or something. So let's at least start with tires. Oh no, that is a leak. That has a fat leak. Oh, so this is the same story as that bike number 2, where the tube just disintegrated in the middle, it looks like. Well, we got 5 out of 6. Like I said, I left the hardest one, the most likely to fail and not go through last, which is this bike here. Pretty much what this bike is down to is it needs cables and housing. What I'm assuming has happened, and looking at this bike closer, is the cables and housing is all gummed up right now with rust and corrosion and all sorts of stuff. Because there are open holes right here that lead directly into the housing, and an open hole on the front one that goes directly into housing too. And those cables and housing are all corroded inside. So I'm fairly certain that's what's going on with it. I attempted to brake from corrosion free on the front. It feels good until you put the brake on, then it no longer feels good. So it's the cables and housing. That's what needs to get done on this bike. But we got 5 out of 6. 5 out of 6 is a passing grade still. So I think that's pretty good. We at least have, the tires are fixed on this. The tires are fixed. The chain is lubed. It just needs cables and housing. So what we're probably going to do is probably do that in a next video. We're probably going to make a whole video about that on this bike. Redoing the cables and housing on this, because the gyro detangler setup on these is not very common. And when you come across it, some people get scared of this because it's a lot of cables altogether. So we might do that. Let me know if you want to see that in the comments down below. If you guys want to see a whole video redoing the cables on this bike. I took a look. They're really not that expensive. We could definitely make it happen. Yeah. We did good, I feel like. 5 out of 6. And we just got to wash them, get them ready to go. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching a crazy guy fix a bunch of broken bikes that he had in his backyard so he can say goodbye and get rid of them all. Because that makes me feel better getting these off my rack in the back. So, hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, give the video a big thumbs up. Appreciate the support. Any comments or questions, let me know down in the comments section below. Appreciate you guys. I'll answer any questions you guys have, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching today.